Let's actually get super comfy. Do you know that feeling of micro optimization to just make things better because you can spot the little details? So you're like, one more tweak before I send the email, one more tweak before I ship the landing page, one more tweak before I publish the video, one more edit, one more tweak. You can constantly see how you can make things better, which makes you detail oriented, which makes you so good at your work, at what you do, and as a responsible, capable, resourceful person and human and creator and creative and artist. And here's what I've noticed about that pattern in my own work and life, work more specifically, both in my previous corporate life, working in my 9 to 5, even back at university, and doing it even more strongly in my own business at first. This is what I've noticed. That was micro optimization to create a feeling of certainty that can't be there. It's just, there isn't any yet. You can't create. I realized I was trying to control, to over polish, over produce, over edit, even over edit my own voice in order to create the perfect piece. And this could apply to anything, even if you're not a content creator, even if you don't have an online business, even if you are working a 9 to 5 job. There's that thing. You realize you can make it better, so you're constantly micro optimizing. And I remember back then I already noticed that pattern early on, and I noticed most importantly how much time it was costing me. Time, effectiveness, sharpness. Effectiveness in the sense of this is sharp, and also momentum, because when you wait until releasing your work because you're trying to make it better behind the scenes in the background before it's ready, before everyone sees it, you're holding back momentum. You're holding yourself back too. Yes, you're making something you're proud of. Yes, you're making something that is your best in that moment, but also trusting your best in that moment, trusting it's enough, trusting your voice, trusting you don't have to, you're here's the thing, giving yourself permission to let in and let live and let breathe even the parts that you deem imperfect, because chances are those will make your product, your whatever you're shipping out into the world, more intriguing, more interesting, more you. And we're here to create something. We're creators, like you're a creator of your own life. We're here to create and shape lives that reflect us, ourselves. And what a privilege and a gift and a joy to give and grant yourself that permission. I realized how much time it was costing me, how much I was delaying my success, my fulfillment, my joy, by just doing the very thing I thought it was foundational in order to get where I wanted to be. But if you look at the need, why do I need to over edit? Why do I feel I need to make this perfect before I let it go, before I release it out into the public, into the wild? Why do I feel I need to do that? Because I feel unsure, because I feel unsafe, because I'm afraid of being seen, because I'm afraid of judgment, of being misunderstood. You try to eliminate every possibility of getting hurt in that way by controlling the thing harder, by trying to make it perfect so nobody can attack your product, your creation, rather than product. Let me swap your creation, because this applies to everything, even how you present yourself, your own creation. You are your own creation. So it's just controlling the outcome, controlling the reaction, controlling the process, but that holds you back because you try to create certainty where the only certainty you have is that you deciding this is ready, ship it, send it out. This is enough. You are enough. What you created is enough. And once you let it out, once you send it, you ship it, you submit the application, you publish the video, you publish your content, you open your store, you open your business, you start the thing, you take the leap. That's when you start creating the certainty, because you can only be certain from real life feedback, how you're feeling while you're doing the thing, the feedback you get from engaging. The thing you create, your creations need to interact with the environment, that's how you gain all the information you need. And I can't tell you how often, how many times I try to intellectualize my way into success, into what success means to me, which is freedom and fulfillment. And of course, supporting people and creating an impact. That's how I get fulfillment. Creating something that's useful, that's supportive, that lives this world better than I found it in my own little and big ways. That's what I'm here for. Once you notice, once you become aware of all the ways you've been holding yourself back, one of those being micro optimization, because often that pattern leaks into every other area of your life, your relationship, romantic, friendship, with your family, with your partner. You try to make control the outcome, control how things are going, just make everything perfect. Yourself, how you present yourself, how you talk, what you ask for. And even I had something I wanted to say and it slipped my mind. This one, it leaks even in your own personal growth, in your self-work, in your inner work. How many times we transform, I've been catching myself transforming my own personal development journey into a chase, into a competition, not a competition, but like, okay, what's next? How can I get better? Like, literally like a marathon, but not a marathon that feels good. Like, okay, like there is this goal where I need to get, and then I will be fully optimized, fully healed, fully whatever. But what a horrible way of approaching our growth, our process, and probably not the way we are likely to thrive. That's survival, that's functioning. But are we thriving when we are forcing this constant process of, I need to get better at this, I need to learn more, I need better skills, better this, better that, and even ending up wanting to perfect your own healing journey? I think the moment we choose to, and here's what I actually done to opt out of that, I'm out of that way of doing my own healing work, approaching my own healing work, relating to my own journey. I'm done seeing myself as a constant work in progress project. I know I am, but I'm relating to that in a different way, not as something that needs to be fixed, optimized, corrected, polished, smooth the edges, polish the surface, present it better. No, as a way of embracing all the little things that make me, that make you, you. All the things we were told were too much, too different, too peculiar, too sensible, too sensitive, too whatever, too loud, too chaotic. Those are the things that are worth actually perhaps exploring. It makes your process intriguing and uniquely yours. And I always say often that too muchness, what was labeled as too muchness, is your greatest asset and gift to yourself and to others. And the moment we decide to opt out of that, oof, what a sense of ease, relief, and peace comes from that. From just letting yourself, yeah, of course, we're always constantly healing, constantly evolving, constantly growing. But can we make it more joyful, feel more expansive, feel good in our bodies, in our own expression, in our own way of being as we do that? Not as something to fix, but as a way to flourish more more deeply, more joyously, more freely, more abundantly, more authentically. I've done, here's what I've done to opt out of that in terms of both self work, my own personal journey, and in my own business. So, in terms of self work, for the last year and a half, I think, aside from hiring a Threads mentor for a month just to understand the platform, I pretty much stopped chasing the next certification, the next training. I had become someone who was just enrolling in one training after another because I felt I needed to catch up. I needed to get more skills, get more certifications, get more trainings. And this isn't inherently bad. I actually love that about myself, that I'm curious, that I'm a forever student. I know I will be always a forever student. And I will return to learning more and gathering more skills. I've been changing how I relate to that, not because I don't know enough, not because I don't have enough. I am not enough, not coming from that place of scarcity, but coming from a place of abundance, like I to enrich my own life and other people's. The shift is subtle, but it's huge. So returning to that, but with a whole different perspective, coming from a whole different place. And that makes it how more joyful, more expansive. I feel more free, even to enjoy the process of training, not just to add another, plaque, another thing on my CV, another skill I can list on my website. I think I've actually removed, or it's very small now, that part, because I don't look at that when I hire a teacher, a coach, a mentor, a guide, or rather, that's the last thing I go and look at. I let energy speak. I trust resonance. I trust what I can perceive from how they talk, how they embody what they're saying. If my body spots embodiment of what I'm trying to build, of what I'm here to build, of the next leap I'm taking, of the next thing I'm building in that person, that's a yes to me. Yes, of course, then I'm curious and I will look at certifications and the kind of what makes up this person education, their approach and everything, but it's not how I gauge their expertise. I'm much more interested in the person, in the energy, and in the embodiment. So, why that shouldn't be true about me and how I relate to my own experience, to my own life, to my own work and business and what I'm here for. So, I kind of changed priorities, or rather, yes, change priorities. What's important? It's embodiment. It's the lived experience. What the wisdom I gathered from going through the thing, from overcoming the fear, from doing the thing, from building the thing, from learning the hard way, from getting it wrong to get it right. That's what I value more than like the more technical skill set. Of course, we need both. Of course, I appreciate both the structure and the more the flow of life and what you gather from life. But I'm putting much more priority on the experience. And in my business, that looks like holding this time, holding myself back from adding one more tweak to the landing page, from adding one more edit. I intentionally, this process of doing this YouTube journey has been so liberating for me because I just removed any rule. I just made my own rules. No edits, no need to stay under X amount of minutes. And I'm intentionally living in the water breaks or the times I reach for my words, the times where I lose my train of thought, the times where I, like, for example, I'm gonna tell you this video is, it feels like I'm rambling. I didn't plan this video. I'm just following a little thread, a little haha moment I had about micro optimization as a way to hold yourself back and trying to create certainty that isn't actually there and can't be there unless you start doing the thing. You take the leap, you do the scary thing. And I think this is I'm just going to walk you through what, as I'm talking, the behind commentary that goes on in my mind that I'm intentionally ignoring. It says at one point earlier on, I was like, I'm just gonna pause and re-record, or I'm just gonna pause and change topic because I could feel myself struggling to hold a structure in the way I was talking, in the way exposing, I'm expressing this thought to you. It's not polished enough. It's too chaotic. It's too abstract. To It lacks specificity. It's not useful. All that was the commentary in my head. I resisted the urge to press pause and re-record. And I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna publish this as it is. And just releasing the urge to control, to make it perfect, to add one more tweak, one more edit, just re-record. Just releasing this into the public. If I find someone who needed this reminder, who knows what I'm talking about, great. But also, as I said, as I started this YouTube journey, first and foremost, I'm doing this for myself, to free myself from that urge, from that necessity, from that need to create certainty. This video might flop, and I'm okay with that. I still did the thing and resisted the voice that told me this wasn't my best. This isn't enough, that I'm not enough, isn't polished enough, and yada yada yada. So thank you for watching. Let me know if this landed. Let me know what landed. If you notice that, if you're also trying to rewire that urge to tweak, the one more tweak. This was for the one more tweak ladies out there. This video is for you. I hope it finds you. I hope it gives you some nugget, some nudge. Maybe to start a challenge with yourself to hold yourself back from adding that one more thing to make it perfect, whatever the it is, including yourself, including your journey, including your own healing process, because it's already perfect as it is. It's already enough. There was one more thing I wanted to add, but it completely slipped my mind. So maybe that will make it into another video. And if you're new here, my name is Marina, and I make videos daily to remind you that the life you desire, the life you want, the version of you you know you're here for, is just one leap of courage away. See you tomorrow. We did it. We did it.